Hi everyone, this is Sonia Schofield and today I'm going to show you how I do soap brows with Pears soap. Really cheap way to make your eyebrows look a lot thicker and a lot neater. So first of all, it looks like I'm about to have my dinner, doesn't it? I've got a little cup, I've got my Pears soap and I've got it on a plate just to keep it all nice and neat and tidy. And yeah, I've got my mascara wand brush. I think this one was from Sally's, but yeah, you can get them anywhere, or you could even use an old mascara wand if you've got them. So the thing about soap brows is, the idea is you're wanting the hairs on your eyebrows to stand up straight. Mine kind of all go across and it looks like I've got very thin eyebrows, which I suppose I have actually. I overplucked those in the 90s. I thought it was really clever to just, yeah, go for it, and they was like one hair thick and they looked absolutely terrible. And I've only in the last couple of years tried to get them to grow back. So this makes them stand up and makes it look like I've got more hair than I probably have. So in this cup I've got hot water and I've got my Pears soap. So you basically you need a clear soap, not one that's, you know, like a white soap that's gonna leave like that white looking residue, so it's gonna dry nice and clear. But yeah, so I really like the Pears one, so I'm going to, I've dipping my mascara wand in the water, and then I am just going to buff the brush across the top of the soap like that. You might have to do it a few times to get it to go a bit bubbly and to get the soap to start coming off. So can you see how it's starting to go a little bit frothy now? So then when your brush starting to look like that, you can actually see there's product on the brush. You can start using that then. So I'm just going to get a little mirror so I can see what I'm doing. So then I'm going to start in the inner brow like that, and I'm going to start brushing the soap into the eyebrow. So can you see how that's starting to make the hair stick up now? And it's sticking up on end, like my eyebrows have had a shock. And I'm just doing that all the way along, can you see? Now that looks a little bit like a hedgehog. So I'm just going to get that excess soap off on the back of my hand like that, and then I'm just going to go across the top a bit. So I'm then brushing them more diagonally across rather than straight up. You can just have them looking straight up, but I think I look a little bit silly like that. And then the ones that are in the inner corner, you can have those more standing up straight, but I still like to manipulate them a bit more diagonal. There, so I'll try and get in closer. Can you see how that eyebrow just looks a bit more fuller having that soap in it as opposed to the other one? Yeah, and just leave that, let that dry a little bit. I'm just going to do the other side now. I'm just going to, bit more water, bit more soap. So you don't want it to be the soap to be too wet or too dry. It just kind of needs to be a perfect consistency, really. You don't want a load of soap running in your eyes. Yeah, and if you get if it's too much and too thick, it's going to look a bit lumpy. So when you've done that, you can get your finger and just press down. I like to press sort of the inside just to make sure that's really going to stay there. Now you can get eyebrow gels, of course, but the soap just seems to stick it down that much better. And it does dry really quick actually. You could just leave it at that, but my eyebrows are quite sparse and they look better if they've got a little bit of colour in. What I'm going to use today, this is actually a Bobbi Brown gel. They've actually unfortunately discontinued this now, but other ones that would do a job really well would be the ones from Anastasia Beverly Hills, or Kat Von D do a really good sort of cream eyebrow product. So I'm going to take an angled brush now. This is a Bobbi Brown one. And I'm going to take a little bit of product onto the brush and then just wipe excess off on the back of my hand, because I don't really want too much of that. The colour I'm using here is mahogany, and it's I would say ever so slightly lighter than the eyebrow. I think that's always the best way if you're wanting a natural look, a natural brow, to go ever so slightly lighter than your natural hair colour is. So I'm going to go slightly under the brow. So I've got them looking thicker, but I just need that bit more colour in for definition. So going underneath first, and I'm trying really just to follow along the natural roots, really, along the bottom. So I'm kind of doing a line, a diagonal line, up to where the arch should be. Now, if you're having difficulty knowing where your arch should be, I would recommend obviously going to a professional, getting them to get them into the right shape for you. I tend to go about once every 3 months, sometimes longer. I go and have HD brows and they just kind of train them in the right shape for me. And I leave them completely alone in that time in between, and then go back and then they can, yeah, make sure the arch is in the right place. I'm trying to thicken them up. You must leave them alone if you're trying to train them. I'm going to do the other side now. Okay, so I've got my eyebrow gel through both of the brows now. I'm just going to take this brush now, which is, you know, one of those where you can comb through the clumps of your eyelashes but brush your eyebrows as well with the other end. So I'm just going to use that. It's a bit of a softer brush than the mascara brush was, just to blend that through nicely, the eyebrow powder, because I don't really want it to look too heavy. I want it to look like those are natural hairs. It's just got that little bit of colour in between. And it just gives you a chance to just check that soap sit them exactly where you want them to be as well. So that's it, that's set them pretty stiff there. They shouldn't really move. Should be able to withstand any sort of wind and rain with those, I reckon. Right, so now I've done that, I just want to highlight under the arch. So I'm just going to use this my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. So I'm just going to use that highlighter just under the brow bone at the arch mainly. Just to highlight the brow bone. Just kind of lifts the whole eye. So the brush I'm using, this is a Studio 10 one, it's double-ended, so I'm applying it with the eyeshadow end first. It's a really nice goldy colour, this highlighter. And then the other end, the fluffier side, I'm just gonna fluff that through just so it looks nice and soft. And it doesn't look like we've got a gold heavy stripe on, which is probably something I would have done as a teenager. But yeah, that's it. That's how I've done my soap brows. Let me know what you think. If you want to ask me about some of the products that I've mentioned, I could, help you out with what colours maybe would suit you best. I'm going to list underneath the brushes and products that I've used today. I hope you've enjoyed that and that has helped you, and I will be back very, very soon with some more tips and ideas for makeup and skincare. Bye everybody!